this thing working? Cool. Salutations one and all, and so one and all salutations. My name is Speedy of Terror Productions, welcoming you to episode 1 of Who's Reviews, where I take Doctor Who Season 9, which started airing last night here in the UK, and I review it. Clues in the name. First episode was called The Magician's Apprentice. What a way to start the season, let me tell you. Before I carry on, I just want to say this review is going to be full of spoilers, so for those of you who don't want the episode ruined for you, click another video. They're all there. Go. Those of you who don't mind spoilers, welcome home. Anyways, so the episode starts off on a planet in the middle of some war, and we see a bunch of soldiers running across a field. Sounds simple enough. Only they're fighting a biplane that has a Dalek-style blaster with bows and arrows. Yeah. Good luck with that. Anyways, one of them then spots this one kid running off into the middle of the field, and so, naturally, he follows him. Because, you know, soldier, make sure everyone's safe, yada yada yada. And they wind up in the middle of the field, and all these hands with eyes in the palms just start shooting up from the ground. They're called hand mines. It sounds as silly as it looks, trust me. But they're apparently strong enough, just one, to drag an entire person into the ground. And so, you know, this kid, he's standing there, he's absolutely terrified. He's giving it all, help me, help me, help me. What comes flying in but the sonic screwdriver? Turns out the Doctor has rigged the screwdriver in such a way that it creates, what was it he said? An acoustic corridor. I believe it was called. An acoustic corridor that allows the Doctor and this kid to talk. And so, you know, the Doctor tries to encourage this kid. He's giving it all, you've got a 1 in 1,000 chance of surviving this. Tell me the name of the child who isn't going to die today. Dramatic pause. And this kid just goes, Davros. Opening credits. Fast forward then, we cut to this guy, this huge 6-foot bugger, going into this bar on some planet. I can't remember the name of the planet, chances are I'll leave it as a caption. Shut up, phone. And he's giving it all, where is the Doctor? And of course, everyone in this bar, they don't know. There are a couple of Ood in there. There's a Hath from Season 3. And so then to intimidate everyone when they don't give him an answer straight away, he turns into this huge, huge monstrosity. But we're not shown what said monstrosity is, except for a shadow. Fast forward a bit then, to the Shadow Proclamation, you know, the big intergalactic jail that they have in the Doctor Who universe. And again, this guy, trying to remember his name now, Commander Sarf? There's something along those lines. Again, captions will save me. He manages to get into the Shadow Proclamation, and he confronts the head of the Shadow Proclamation, once again asking where the Doctor is. She says that the Doctor isn't their concern. So he skulks off. We then go to Khan! Alright, not that Khan. And we see the Sisterhood of Khan again, which is really cool because they're sticking to the Doctor Who canon. They appeared in The Night of the Doctor, which was the prequel to the 50th anniversary. They appeared in the Season 9 prequel, which was only about 2 minutes long on BBC iPlayer. Both very good, by the way. And so, you know, the head of the Sisterhood of Khan are giving it all, what does Davros want? Tell me the message, and I'll pass the message on to the Doctor. And so this Scarf fella, he goes, oh, what was it? Davros knows, Davros remembers, that's what he said. And of course the Doctor's lurking in the shadows. So as soon as he leaves, everyone and their mothers in the Sisterhood of Khan looks at the Doctor. And they're giving it all, Doctor, what have you done? Excuse me. Fast forward again, present day Earth, and we once again see Clara Oswin Oswald. Yay! Who was once again played by Jenna Louise Coleman. I thought she was supposed to leave in the Christmas special. God damn it, BBC, getting my hopes up for nothing. Anyways. And we see her teaching a class of kids. And they're talking about some author who's Jane Austen. I was about to say, I can't remember the author's name, but it was Jane Austen they were talking about. And Clara just happens to look out the window of her classroom and sees this huge Boeing 747 suspended mid-air. And so out of panic, she tells the kids, right, everyone turn on your phones, Twitter, news websites, whole shebang, hashtag planes have stopped moving. Global news, obviously, go figure. And then Clara's called to unit. So that's cool, they're sticking with the unit thing, which I liked. I like the unit aspect of Doctor Who, because, you know, it harks back to when John Pertwee played the Doctor way back when in the 70s. And they're giving it, oh, we haven't been able to get in touch with the Doctor. And then they start discussing about all the possibilities that could happen with all these planes. And then they get an encrypted message through the Doctor channel, I think they said it was called. And it turns out to be the lyrics to an Avril Lavigne song, courtesy of the Master, or now Missy, played by Michelle Gomez, who was, I will admit, Michelle Gomez was bloody amazing in this episode. She really, really was amazing in this episode. All credit where credit's due to her. Anyways, they meet up with her. Missy gives it all, I have this thing, it's called a confession disc, and it's left to the Doctor's most closest friend on the eve of his death. So of course Clara naturally mistakes her for her being the Doctor's closest friend. And Missy goes, no, he's talking about me. And of course Clara, you know, all the mind shenanigans are happening. In case you haven't realised, I'm trying to keep this video as PG as possible. So yeah, anyways, they then find the Doctor. Turns out he's in 1138 AD in Essex. And so they travel there via the Vortex Manipulator. Shame John Barrowman wasn't mentioned. I digress. Anyway, so they're watching over this place. They're in like this big auditorium, like stadium thing. And suddenly the Doctor comes riding out on a tank playing the electric guitar. Now half of your brain is going, what the fuck? And the other half, mainly the majority of your brain is going, okay, that's pretty cool. And indeed it is. Many a laugh ensues from that scene. And he's giving it all, I've had a great time here. I've invented the word dude several centuries early. Anyways, this scarf guy finds them, and he beams them up to his ship. Pardon me. Meanwhile, this guy that the Doctor was supposed to fight in this arena turns out to be a Dalek slave drone, and he finds the TARDIS. So of course the Daleks get a hold of the TARDIS. Carrying on then with our main protagonists, the Doctor, Clara and Missy are put into the small confined waiting room. And the Doctor's called out to see Davros, who is dying. Holy cow, Davros, the creator of the Daleks, is dying. Who, what, where now? Anyway, moving on. Missy then notices that the room isn't a room per se, it isn't a ship. They thought it was a ship, it isn't. Turns out it's a building on a planet. Turns out this planet, believe it or not, is none other than Skaro. They rebuilt Skaro. And all the Daleks are there. There are a few Daleks from like the 60s. They had the heavy weapons Dalek from the Remembrance of the Daleks episode. Dalek Sec came back. That one was never really explained. But basically every Dalek and their mum is in this room. We've got the TARDIS in there. And then stuff hits the fan. Alright, first the Daleks kill Missy. then they kill Clara, then they destroy the TARDIS. They've destroyed the TARDIS. I just wish to emphasise that. They destroyed the TARDIS, arguably the flagship prop in the Doctor Who canon. Well, next to the sonic screwdriver, of course, but I digress. And the Doctor's there, no, please, you have to stop this, spare them. And Davros is there, I only create the Daleks, I cannot control them. Which is bull if you watch the Tom Baker episodes, where the Daleks are involved. So yeah, cut back to the field that we saw at the very start of the episode. This kid is still in the middle of all these hand mines. And he's there giving it all, help, help, somebody help me. And suddenly the Doctor reappears with a Dalek blaster turned into a gun. Cue the end credits. Wow. Overall, The Magician's Apprentice I thought was a very, very good episode of Doctor Who. It had comedy, it had suspense, it had the drama, which is something that we're all accustomed to with Doctor Who. Peter Capaldi did an absolutely fantastic job playing the role of the Doctor. Jenna Louise Coleman, I do wish she'd left in the previous Christmas special. You know, the one where Nicolas Cage was cosplaying as Father Christmas. I wish she'd left, but the fact that she hasn't has irked me, but she was okay in this episode. But of course, I think the award for best character in this episode has to go for Michelle Gomez and Missy. Getting Michelle Gomez to play Missy, stroke of genius. Seriously. Overall, however, this episode, The Magician's Apprentice, gets a rating of 8 out of 10 from me. So until next Sunday, where I shall be reviewing whatever the title for next week's episode is, again, captions, this has been Speedy of Terror Productions, saying thank you all for watching, and I shall see you all on the next one.